My name is Allison, and they pay to watch me die. Over 50 times they've recorded my snuff films. Each death, a grotesque performance against my will. I didn't choose this nightmare, it chose me, disguised as an amateur porn ad that led straight to hell. The house was pristine, eerily normal in an upscale neighborhood. I was promised upfront payment until my captor hissed, "Let's see how you die first." Whew. The cameras rolled, sealing my fate. Death is like drifting under anesthesia, painful at first, then an eerie peace as darkness swallows everything. But I never truly stay dead. I awaken, a ghost trapped in a horrifying loop. I am pressed into shallow graves, dragged back into life, much to the horror of my executioner. The money was tempting, more than I could ever earn elsewhere. The women had stopped dying. Only I was the star now, endlessly snuffed for insatiable audiences. My death was their entertainment, their secret pleasure. Not twisted monsters lurking in shadows, but teachers, doctors, fathers, ordinary faces with some secret hunger. They were everywhere, hiding in plain sight. One afternoon in a cafe, a man with 2 young daughters stared at me. When he recognized my pentagram tattoo, his face drained of color. He stammered a half-formed greeting and fled with his girls, leaving me unnerved. The tattoo had become a beacon, marking me in an impossible reality. Then the police came to my mother. She never knew what I truly did, imagining me as a trainer or businesswoman. But when she saw detectives and heard whispers of blood and tapes on the internet, her world cracked. She didn't want anything to do with me. Calling me a ghost, she was consumed by frantic relief and dread. My mom never understood me. I stayed with her that night, desperate to prove I was alive, to cling to any thread of normalcy. I felt like she didn't want me there. But others had noticed, investigating shadows too real to ignore. The darkness was closing in on me. I decided to quit, planning one final brutal death to prove it once and for all. I needed to escape this nightmare. On the day of that last filming, a suffocating sense of being watched weighed on me. I knew something was wrong. Pain battered me, but as euphoria crept in, the darkness was shattered. Armed men stormed in. The unexpected change caught me by surprise. I gasped awake, not in a shadowed room, but on a cold metal slab, surrounded by men in suits who smiled like hunters revealing a prize. My surroundings looked unfamiliar. They called themselves Agencia, they said, asking for my help with a delicate mission involving the wife of Russia's defense minister. I couldn't believe this was really happening. A woman trapped and hunted. They wanted me to fake her death, crafting a final performance to free her for real. They wanted my help, and I don't know why. The irony was suffocating. My gruesome art used to save a life. After everything I've been through, this seemed unreal. How much does this gig pay? I asked, my voice quieter than I expected. I was worried that this was too good to be true. In that sterile room beneath flickering lights, I realized my horror was no longer just a cycle of death and rebirth. This was the start of something new. It was a currency, a tool, and perhaps my only chance at freedom, forged from the darkest role of my life. I had to take it. The training was intense, pushing me to my limits. I was learning to be someone else. They taught me how to fight, how to blend in, how to disappear. They were turning me into someone else entirely. The plan was complex, relying on deception and perfect timing. We had to fool everyone. The day arrived, and I was filled with a mixture of fear and anticipation. Everything was about to change. Infiltrating the estate was more difficult than I anticipated. Security was tight, and danger lurked around every corner. I found her, the minister's wife, a beautiful woman trapped in a gilded cage. She was scared and alone. We executed the plan flawlessly, staging her death with chilling precision. It was the most convincing performance of my life. The world believed she was dead, and she was finally free. It was a strange kind of justice. I returned to my own life, forever changed by what I had done. I was no longer just a victim.